Imagine this. High in the snowy Alps, two hikers discover something sticking out of the ice. At first, they think it's a lost climber, frozen by the mountain. But when scientists arrive, they realize this is no ordinary body. This man has been lying in the ice for more than 5,000 years. His skin, his clothes, even his last meal, all preserved by the cold. He is called Ötzi the Iceman, and his story is filled with discovery, mystery, and even a deadly curse. It all began in September 1991. Two German hikers, Helmut and Erika, were crossing a high mountain pass in the Ötztal Alps. The summer heat had melted the glacier more than usual that year, and there, half buried in the ice, they saw what looked like a human head and shoulders. At first, they thought it was a mountaineer who had died recently. Local police even tried to pull the body out with sticks and ropes, but when archaeologists looked closer, they were shocked. This was no modern climber. The tools, the clothes, the body, everything pointed to something ancient. Tests soon revealed the truth. The man in the ice had died around 3300 BCE. That made him more than 5,000 years old, older than the pyramids of Egypt. The news spread quickly. Newspapers called him the Iceman, and soon the world was fascinated. Ötzi was about 45 years old when he died. He was around 5 foot 3 inches tall and weighed about 110 pounds. For his time, he lived a long life. But what amazed scientists the most were the things he carried with him. He wore a cloak made of woven grass, a fur hat, and a coat stitched from goat and sheep hide. On his feet were leather shoes stuffed with grass for insulation. Experts said his shoes were so advanced they were almost as good as modern snow boots. He carried a small pouch filled with tools, a scraper, a drill, a small blade. He also carried dried fungi that may have been used as medicine or fire starters. And then there was his axe, a copper axe, one of the oldest ever discovered. This proved that he came from a society that already mined and smelted copper, a huge step forward in human history. His belongings told us he wasn't just wandering. He was prepared for survival in the harsh mountain climate. On Ötzi's skin, scientists found more than 60 tattoos. They were made by rubbing charcoal into cuts, but these weren't in visible places for decoration. They were located on joints and areas where he had pain. Researchers believe these tattoos were used for healing, possibly the oldest known form of acupuncture. CT scans also showed that Ötzi suffered from arthritis. He had parasites in his stomach and hardened arteries. In many ways, he was just like us, battling health problems while trying to survive each day. At first, scientists thought Ötzi froze to death in a snowstorm, but in 2001, a shocking discovery was made. An X-ray revealed an arrowhead lodged deep in his shoulder. Ötzi had been shot. He also had cuts on his hands, suggesting he had been in a fight. This wasn't an accident. It was murder. Was he attacked by rival tribes? Was it a robbery? Or was he betrayed by someone he trusted? Even today, no one knows the full truth. But what is certain is that Ötzi died violently, high in the mountains, far from home. But the story doesn't end there. Soon, strange rumors began to spread, whispers of a curse. Several people connected to Ötzi's discovery died in unusual circumstances. Helmut Simon, one of the hikers who found him, fell to his death in 2004. Rainer Henn, a forensic expert who examined him, died in a car accident. A mountaineer who guided scientists to the site was later found in an avalanche. Even the museum's curator, who worked closely with the Iceman, died suddenly from a rare blood disease. In total, at least 7 people linked to Ötzi's discovery or study met untimely deaths. The media quickly called it the Curse of the Iceman. Some compared it to the famous curse of Tutankhamun's tomb. Of course, scientists argue these were coincidences. After all, hundreds of people worked with Ötzi, and most are still alive. But still, the curse made headlines. and many began to believe the Iceman carried with him a deadly power. Today, Ötzi rests in a special museum in Bolzano, Italy. He is kept in a cold, dark chamber, almost like the ice that preserved him for thousands of years. Scientists continue to study him. His DNA revealed he had brown eyes, type O blood, and was lactose intolerant. Even his last meal, bread, red deer meat, and herbs, has been discovered in his stomach. Through him, we've learned how ancient people dressed, traveled, healed their wounds, and fought for survival. But we've also been left with mysteries that may never be solved. Who killed him? Why was he high in the mountains? And is the curse real? Or just a story we tell ourselves when history feels too close to the present? Think about it. If that glacier had not melted in 1991, we would never have known him. His story would have been lost forever. But instead, the ice gave us a rare gift, a window into the deep past. Through Ötzi, we see not just a mummy, but a man. A man who lived, struggled, and died, yet continues to speak to us after 5,000 years. Ötzi the Iceman is not only a scientific treasure, he is a reminder that the past is never truly gone. Sometimes, it waits in the ice, ready to return.